All right, welcome back to the Tribal Knowledge Podcast. I'm here with the product manager, Logan Killam, from Beretta. So he's come out to do a visit with us. So how you doing?
Thanks for having us out. Yeah, it's been a great time out here. We're chasing some ducks around this morning and playing with some new products and had a great time.
Yeah. So we spent the morning out on the Snake River in a duck blind with 7 suppressed shotguns.
Yeah.
Right, all Berettas, and putting them through the paces and trying them in all different configurations and just kind of spending some time behind the gun, right?
Trying to find some ducks through this fog.
Yeah, we had a real thick fog come in this morning, lay on us, and really didn't want to go anywhere, but eventually it burned off and we got some ducks coming through.
Yeah, strange bag of ducks too, right? Some mallards and a teal, which shouldn't be here, and a goldeneye, which shouldn't be in a march. Yeah, kind of a funny group.
All kinds of stuff, right? But
yep, and probably the world's shortest boat ride to get to the hunting island.
Yeah, it was.
You could throw a softball across it, but you couldn't cross that river.
No, Snake River's pretty hectic this time of year, and get in the boat, you can't see anything because of the fog, right? Fire up the boat, drive. As soon as you got it pinned, you're letting off because you're hitting the next bank, right? So just river hopping.
Yeah, pretty funny.
It was good. So, so let's talk a little bit about the last couple of years of Beretta and shotguns and transformation.
Yeah, so we're doing some very cool stuff with shotguns. So I was the former product manager over at Trigicon and Red Dots. So the last 6 years, been developing a lot of red dots, hearing a lot from customers saying, hey, I want a bigger field of view, I want bigger buttons, I want to see more of my target. And my passion in the background the whole time was shotgunning. I love shotgunning. That's what I do. It's what I compete in and I'd love to hunt in. And so it's kind of this natural progression of, hey, red dots are great on a rifle. Everyone knows that. We've known that for 20 years.
Yep.
People are now learning, hey, red dots are great on pistols. We've known that for 5 years.
Yeah.
Now it's time to say, hey, all right, red dots are great on shooting platforms. A shotgun's no different. Functionally, we've got a weapons platform. We're sending out a projectile to hit a thing. No different rifle, pistol, shotgun. What's good in a rifle and pistol is also works great in a shotgun. So that's what we've been doing. So we've got here in front of us 3 different mounting styles on 3 different Beretta shotguns. So in the stand behind us is our newest and sort of the most advanced, which is the A300 cut for the optic right into the back of the receiver. So it's the RMR footprint. Perfect. So it'll take the Trigicon stuff, the Holosun stuff, a lot of the other brands that are out there. As long as you use that RMR footprint, you're good to go. If you want to mount something else, no problem. There's plenty of plate systems that go RMR to Delta Point to Acro.
Out there, right? Yeah.
So it's a full ecosystem ready to go.
Perfect.
You mount that optic on there. You can still get your cheek weld. You can see over the top of a suppressor like we're showing here, and it just works beautifully, right? It co-aligns. You zero it ideally just like you would a pistol or rifle. You're all set. And then the other 2 mounting styles are the chisel stock, which is really come on strong in the last 2 years, especially on the tactical side. But we're now here showing it and playing around with it in the hunting scenarios. Because like today, right, we were coming up through some thick foliage and some thick brush to get our shooting position.
Absolutely. Very thick,
Well, you can move that out of your way with your offhand, control the shotgun with your on hand, come up out of there, and you've already got that gun controlled onto your face. And now your sport hand comes up and you're going to beat the guy next to you to that bird.
Yeah, there's no question birds are hauling butt, right?
Yeah.
So you have split seconds to get on the bird and knock it down or it's out of range.
Yeah,
right?
you got to move fast.
Yep.
So in some hunting scenarios, that pistol grip is really, really cool. And then adjustable length of pull, adjustable cheek height, that optic mount, being able to mount close to your face. Again, you can see over the top of the suppressor. And
full
away you
modularity,
go.
right?
Yeah,
I mean,
full modularity.
Do whatever you want with it, right?
Adapts to the A300, adapts to the A400 platform.
Again, kind of getting to that, like, why are we using a fixed length buttstock when we don't do that on anything else? Or even
we've gotten
pistols,
smarter.
Their modularity and grips and slides, and right? So
my precision rifle, I want adjustable stock. My AR, I want adjustable stock.
Yeah.
Hey, what's the difference in shotgun? I'd argue none. You want adjustability in that length of pull.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's early in the season. I'm hunting in a t-shirt. Cool. Give me a little longer. It's like today. It's freezing cold. You're wearing waders and 3 jackets. You got an inch of clothing on you.
Shorten it up.
Shorten that stock up.
Yeah. No, it's great. Yeah. Yeah. So those are the 2, and then you have a third one.
And then the third one here is if you have a gun today that you want to try and play around with the red dot, this is the Scalar Works mount that just bolts to the top of the A400 or the A300 platform that's already pre-drilled for a Picatinny rail. So you can put this direct mount from Scalar Works right on there, or you can put a piece of Picatinny rail and then go from up to there. So lots and lots of cool solutions. And of course, the last one, which we don't have a demo of here, is the aim point solution, which clamps onto the rib, which is a
we've
sealed
shot that
system.
one.
Yeah.
Works great too, right? Yeah.
Another great system, a different way to skin that problem of, I want to know more information about what my target's doing. I want to be able to see downrange. I want to be able to measure my lead on that far crossing duck. And that's there's two sets of customers that we really find really like the red dot, and that is new shooters who don't understand lead. It's hard to teach a lead. How do you teach a new shooter? We got to lead that duck 6 feet. Well, they don't have any experience.
Yeah, that's like what we used to say about rifle optics. Hold left. Well, how far?
Right.
Well, give them a reference point. So all of a sudden we get Christmas tree reticles. We have a measurement, right?
Yep.
So
the red dot does the same thing.
yeah, now you have a dot size that's a MOA or whatever.
Projected into space.
Hold 2 dots forward, half a dot, whatever it is, right?
You got it.
Yeah.
And so that they can see downrange, see that dot, judge that lead, and make that shot.
Perfect.
So that's one user group that's really, really loving it. And then the second user group are those people that really want to stretch the capabilities of a shotgun. Just like turkey hunting has stretched the capabilities of a shotgun. 20 years ago, people would have said you can't kill a turkey at 70 yards with a shotgun. It's impossible.
Now it's common practice,
yeah, now it's common. Right.
Yeah,
We've got stacked tungsten. You've got red dot. You've got the pistol grips. No problem. I can kill a turkey at 70 yards.
Yeah.
You can kill a duck at 70 yards too. The problem is, how do you measure that lead?
Yeah. Now that gets
the red dot does that for you.
The answer.
You can precisely measure that lead. You can precisely control the aim, and you can make that shot as long as you've got the practice and you have practice it. You know what you're doing. Same sort of thing.
Yeah, and we were even seeing today they were swapping the reticle in there, right?
Yep.
You had the dot, and then you had what was the other one we were using?
So the segmented circle. So
segmented circle.
We've got from Trijicon, we've got 2 types of optics with us today. So we've got the SROs, which is that circular field of view, large buttons, top load battery, or the whole adjustability that the SRO is famous for. Mm-hmm. And then most recently, Trijicon launched the RMR HD, which is on the gun behind us. And that
was the one I was using today. Yeah.
Has this segmented circle that you can turn on and off the ring. So just like a Neotech, you have the dot, or you can have the full reticle circle with a dot in the middle. The other cool thing is you can tune that dot on or off, and then you can tune the brightness of the dot to the reticle, the other outer ring. So it gives you a lot of flexibility. And then that circle acts like your pattern. So if
it
you
really
know,
did today for me, I could see it. It just was really natural.
Yep, especially when you had those decoying ducks. They're not moving that fast. Just put that duck in the circle and smoke it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about your head position. Your form doesn't have to matter. Do you get the gun exactly to your shoulder? Did you get your cheek down? Put the reticle on the bird and smoke it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a huge advantage today. Something new to me, but again, why aren't we doing it? It works great on everything else. We just haven't got here yet, and you guys have got here.
Right.
Now. So it's becoming more and more of just a regular part of the weapon system.
And it's going to take adaptation by the industry, right? Red dots have come on from all the manufacturers now. It started off with FN, and then it just spread over the last 8 years. Mm-hmm. Shotguns is just the next evolution. So Beretta's working on a bunch of solutions now. Benelli and Stoger and Franchi and Beretta and everybody else will kind of follow on as this gets more and more popular. And Mossberg has had a solution out for a while too.
Gotcha.
So it's more and more common because more and more guys are doing it and asking for it. So we're happy to be kind of leaders in that space.
Yeah, it's been great. And then for us, we see customers call in or, get on the DMs or whatever. They ask us, if I get a shotgun suppressor, is it going to impede my sights, And our first response is, especially for just wing shooters or, guys that are shooting stuff that's flying, we don't see a big difference in if you already know how to shoot and you shoot with your dot that you your BB, whatever it is, there's not a big transition. They can continue to do what they've been doing, right? Sometimes it takes a half a day or a couple rounds of ski, and then they're ready to go.
Yep. They get used to the difference in the balance and the swing.
Yeah. It doesn't seem to be a big change, but the guys that feel like, hey, I just can't get through that, I shoot. It's usually the guys that are shooting one eye open is what we see. They're not shooting both eyes open, which some people shoot either way. You know,
how they grow up. Right.
Yeah, however they grew up is muscle memory, and so if they can't do that, then this becomes an immediate solution for that problem. Like if you put the red dot on, it won't matter. You can shoot one or two eyes and still fight through that, and because you're above the suppressor, it's not even in the way. That's first, and then second, it was kind of like when I first put one on a pistol. At first, it's different. You're looking for it, you're trying to find it, and then you give it a couple weeks, and you're like, I can't live without it.
Yeah,
right?
You get used to it.
I need this on my pistol. This makes me a better shot.
Yep, it's hard to go back to your iron sights.
Yep, and that's what I found with today. I'm like, I don't want to go back to a BB, you know?
Yep.
So.
And just like we talked about this morning, that as this market develops and grows, you know, we can change the height of these ribs. So there will be a time when the customer base says, hey, look, we love this hunting with the can. We want that. We want to do more of that. Maybe I want the dot, maybe I don't, but I want a rib that I can see. Okay, well, no big deal. We'll raise this up a few more millimeters, and now the rib you'll see on top of the can.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just as the market demands it, we'll put that into our product road and make that solution.
Perfect.
So it's getting that customer feedback, and that's what today and this kind of week is all about, is showing what the future of shotgunning can be.
Absolutely.
Right? We've taken a platform that really hasn't had a step forward since the screw-in choke 40 years ago, and now we're going as far as the technology will pretty much allow. Cans, pistol grips, optics. I mean, right, this is a gun that's really pretty modern. This is a refresh of what a shotgun can be.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it shows in the field, you know. You just have to break through the mold of this is how it was, and, you know, well, I only shoot pistols that have a steel frame. Well, we don't anymore, right? Or I only shoot long guns that have a wood stock. Well, we pretty much don't anymore, right? We've progressed, so this is just the next natural fit to that. It's progressing, it's going fast, and it's valid improvements that I think will be implemented.
Yeah, and to go with the ammo too. So this morning we were shooting Migra, some of their prototype 2.4 stacked steel. It's a fast load. You know, that load didn't exist 3 years ago. So loads are getting more and more capable, better and better downrange ballistics, better and better lethality downrange. Okay, cool. But if I can't aim my shotgun more accurately to take advantage of those new capabilities,
what good is
what the hell am I doing spending $2.50 on a round?
Which everyone knows the optic game is what changed our long guns, right? Our optics finally got better. Now we can see farther than we've ever been able to see. Well, now the gun has to catch up. We need hotter rounds, more velocity, more range, right?
Yeah.
And it's just going to be a natural progression here.
Yeah.
I got a question about barrel length then. So you're seeing these hotter rounds come up. All of a sudden, what becomes an acceptable barrel length? Do we need the traditional 28-inch, or are you able to shorten that down because of that? And
yeah, it's a great question. And it really depends on how you want to swing and how you want to balance the gun. But so we currently today offer 3 barrel lengths, 26, 28, 30, in some cases 32s. That's mostly your target shooting. I foresee a world where shorter and shorter barrels, but adding a can on it becomes the future. Our testing shows that pretty much by 24 inches, you've expended all the powder. And really by 18, which is where we put like the patrols and the 1301s, at 18 inches, you've pretty much got everything out of it you're going to get. That 18 to 22, you're going to get a few more feet per second.
Just a little bit left there.
Yeah, but you're not squeezing out anything that's going to matter to your target, whether it be a duck or a bad guy. So I see a world where a 26 or even a 24 becomes your standard hunting length. Then you add 6 or 8 inches of can. You're right back to
where you were in the
30-inch barrel. Yeah, 30-inch gun, but now you can hunt. You're safe. I mean, there were 6 of us in the blind this morning shooting those ducks. No one was wearing ear protection.
Those are hot loads. Like
we were shooting 1470.
And they were not loud at
not
all.
a problem.
I mean, yeah, there's some bang going on. We're breaking the sound barrier, but
it's happening.
No one at one point ever had any ringing of ears.
No.
Or
the duck calls were louder than the reports of the guns.
Yeah. We were enjoying conversation with each other. None of us had to wear earplugs. We were just having a good time. Right?
Yeah, which is what that's all about, and that totally changes it. That you and I can be having a conversation one end of the blind, the guys can say, take them down there, and okay, maybe we get to our guns, maybe we don't, but we can continue our conversation. They can be whacking ducks.
Yeah. It happened today.
It happened. It literally happened today.
Yeah, and we're like, well, I'll just let them shoot them, and we're just continuing on and
it was so enjoyable.
Yeah.
We don't have to take earplugs in and out or ringing in our ears or have the wife yelling at us because we're all deaf 5 years from now.
Right. Now, I mean, I watched my wife's grandpa. He got deaf from being in the Army years ago, artillery guy, and he just can't hear. And watching him and his wife, great people struggle because he can't hear.
Yep. And she gets mad at him.
Yeah, she's mad. He's mad now because she's mad. And it's all from hearing, and he had the best hearing aids you could get, and just anything we can do to protect that sense, we need to be there, because not going duck hunting isn't an option. We need to do that, right? Yep. So that time with your family or with team members is priceless. So.
Yep. Then I would expend that out beyond hunting to the competitive shooting world. So we go back to the types of users that really appreciate cans, getting back to those younger, smaller people who are just beginning. What's the problem with learning how to shoot a gun? The recoil and the sound. Okay, well, if I can tame both of those with one device, now I can take a person who might not have been able to handle a 12 gauge or even a 20, I can suppress it, I can reduce the noise, and now that young person, that young kid can shoot and enjoy a full round of trap, full round of skeet. They're not beat up, they're not scared of it. It's like, wow, yeah, I can have my kids enjoy that experience way younger than
it's a huge benefit.
I thought before.
I mean, have you had our cans for maybe 2 years now?
Yeah, about that.
About how many rounds do you think you've put through one of them?
I mean, 500, 600.
600.
Yep.
I'll just ask you, so even today we fired, do you ever feel like the recoil thing's even an issue at all anymore between what you've done with the Beretta and adding that?
No, not at all. That tames it for me. I'm not recoil sensitive by nature, big guy, but my wife is. So you asked me about who uses it. So I've got an A400 set up for her. Cut down stock, shorter barrel, and I take your can and I take out, I think I put 3 baffles in it. So the weight is too much for her. She's not big. And it tames the noise and it tames that recoil for her. And so now she can shoot ounce and an eighth sporting clays loads. She can shoot a full 100 rounds with me. And she's good to go. Good. Yeah. She never used to be able to do that before.
Yeah. So it took that much out for her. It made the difference.
Yep. And your choke tube system is really cool because you've solved that other problem that, hey, all right, I want to suppress it. I still have my choke tube capability. You've got that licked.
Yeah, that's our end cap. The different end caps was key. I mean, right in the beginning, that was actually the first patent. Just, okay, I want a practical shotgun suppressor. That was, the goal, right? Then what does it take to get there? Well, it's got to be light. It's got to be affordable. And you have to be able to change the pattern. And that didn't exist, I felt like.
Right.
I have good friends at Silencer Co. and they made the salvo, and it was actually way ahead of its time.
Cool, really cool solution.
Really cool. They did something no one else had done, and no one can take that away from them. I think it's cool still. Yep. I just wanted to go a different route with it, and I really wanted to fit that hunting market because it's just how many shotguns are shot a day, especially this time of year.
Way more than you'd think.
Yeah, you get round counts through shotguns.
Yep.
And most people in that scenario are not wearing hearing protection.
That's right.
Because they want to have those conversations and they're enjoying the hunt. And those are the ones that are getting punished the worst. Their ears are getting hammered. So I wanted to keep it practical, light, affordable, and change that pattern. I really feel like we got there. So.
Yep. And the ability to clean it, right? Take it apart.
We were talking about that earlier today, and I'll actually let you do it. There's a chunk of one we shot today. Here's a rag, and this kind of talks about, when we shoot wet, there's a couple reasons.
I mean, clean as can be.
That literally is new.
Yep.
Special purpose shotgun or special purpose suppressor is what we refer to these as, like our CCX. This is really a CCX of shotguns. This is a tiny can for a shotgun.
Yep, and it's modular, so I can make it as long as I want or as short as I want, depending on my application.
Yep, ways to make it better, and you see it. We've run them dry or wet, right? You can get a dB reduction with wet. It lasts long enough for the hunt, and the cleanability's huge. I mean, it's just a non-issue. So we really enjoy that part of it.
Yep.
So where do you see, where is Beretta going in this next year? What do you see? We got anything cool on the horizon you can talk about? Or
Well, I think we've touched on it a little bit. I think as we work together, I see a world where the barrels get shorter, the ribs get slightly higher, and then I think there will be a demographic that wants to keep the factory choke tube. So like we've talked about, maybe the rib gets stepped back and we thread the outside of the barrels.
Yes.
Where you can keep the inside choke and then thread on the can on the outside, just like a rifle.
Yep.
It's like a pistol, where you're no longer adapting to that choke tube surface.
And you leave the original choke alone, and you can still, that'd be a second level of chokeability you could play with.
Yep.
Pre-can, or you take the can off, then you're still good.
Yeah.
I really feel like that'd be a good way to go.
Yep.
And we've talked that, right?
Yeah.
And we've even talked about publicly release. We do publicly give that thread pitch out for anyone that wants to do that.
Yeah, it's so helpful.
Yeah, just we're not trying to make anything new or weird that's left-handed or, some weird thread pitch. It's right out of the machinist handbook. It's a standard thread. You can get gauges for it. We even talked about how it could add strength to the outside of the barrel there. Our barrels just get thinner and thinner, and we're trying to get everything we can out of them. So it even could be on a safety factor there, just a little more strength.
Right. And I think the world of shotguns is always going to be evolving, right? We're playing around with new materials, new designs, new concepts. Triggers will get better and better, more and more crisp, different shapes. Continue to adjust gas systems so that they can run reliably with the lightest 7/8 of an ounce load, all the way up to the big 3.5 inch, turkey load tungstens you want to shoot, suppressed or unsuppressed. It's just all sorts of neat stuff. And then other cool people adapting to the back of the gun, just like the precision rifle world. Chisel was kind of the first to start making modern shotgun stocks, and they've taken off. They've done really, really well. We'll be excited to see what those guys continue to come up with.
Yeah, that's
that
just
world
the
expands.
first rev, right? It'll keep evolving and going places, I'm sure. One of the things when I got to visit your guys' factory back in Tennessee probably 2 years ago now.
Yep.
Really cool facility. Got to walk in, seeing the mural on the wall in there. And it didn't take me long to start really realizing that Beretta's 500 years old, right? Family owned 500 years old.
Yeah, still in the same direct lineage.
I don't even know who can say that. And
it's the oldest, longest run. I guess I understand that there's a bell manufacturer, like church bells, that is older, but realistically, no. For a company the size of Beretta and all the things that they do and the integration that they bring and the leadership and the technology of a shotgun, again, people think it's a shotgun. Well, we're pushing the bounds of what a shot string can do. Companies like Migra and Norma are pushing what a shot shell can do.
Yep.
We're going to push what a shotgun can do.
Absolutely. So, and I bring that up because when I was in there, it looked like you had a picture of the boat that came over to America.
The Mayflower.
Right?
We can't prove it, but it's very likely that the Mayflower was armed with Beretta-made cannons.
Right. So when you guys
Kinda
gave me the
wild.
tour and you're like, hey, we made the cannons on the Mayflower, I felt like there was no way to impress you at that point. But I said, if I was there, I would have suppressed the cannons.
Yeah.
It would have been great.
Right.
So, well, thanks for coming on.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for having us out hunting.
Yep. And we'll get on to our next hunt tomorrow, and we'll be giving you more feedback as we continue to use these shotguns and suppressor packages with the red dots, and we'll just go from there.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.